just can't start early, correct?
Correct.
I'm saying you dared me to do that.
I dared you to do that.
I was. Well, my paperwork is usually covering it, so.
Alrighty, I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Thank you everybody for being here. We'll start with a roll call. And just say present or here if you're here. Marion,
Present.
DeGroot, here. Sheldon,
Here.
Curtis, here. Zoller,
Here.
Schmidt, not here. Do I need to call you, Lois?
No.
No.
No. Okay. All right, so we'll move on to consideration of the agenda.
So moved. Support.
Support. So motion made by Curtis, supported by, who said that?
Doesn't matter.
Zoller. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved, agenda approved. So now public comments. Seeing that there are none. Do we need a motion for that? We can just move on.
No,
move
on. Consideration of the meeting minutes. You have a motion for that?
Motion to approve
With the changes.
with the changes already presented by Lois.
Support.
Motion to approve with changes already made by Marion, supported by Zoller. Good there. Any motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, so motion is approved. 10 minutes. Is there any conflict of interest on this? None declared. So we'll move on to unfinished business. We don't believe we need a motion for this, so Mr. Bujak, if we could have you come up and Greg's gonna take over here and we'll have you answer any questions. And Greg's gonna kinda lead on this one, so.
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is make a motion to untable our March 2025 meeting.
Support.
And then we're gonna start discussing. The last meeting, we talked about having, his deck posts put at or behind his retaining wall and come back with new plans. What I see is he has done that. So he meets what we need to have for his, posts, and then his cantilever is 2 to 4 feet. So he's gonna have a total of a 10-foot deck on there.
It'll be a 3-foot cantilever.
3-foot cantilever, okay. So I'm gonna make a motion to go through, where are they? The questions.
I'd like,
Go ahead, sorry.
just as a matter of record, the actual variance that's being sought now that we have changed the dimensions. It looks like what you have that. So what is the new distance from the water? What is the setback you're asking for?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to come back and continue discussion from our March 20th meeting. And at that meeting, we discussed changing the northwest corner. And in doing so, we actually reduced the setback from the water course. In my original request, I was asking for a 24-foot setback, and with the design change, we actually have a 27-foot setback. And I took a picture here of that corner where it's projected down to the ground level. And in the next picture you'll see here, oops. How I in fact took that measurement. So I went from the edge of the water course to that projected point, And we are now, instead of a 24-foot setback, actually at
27.
27 feet,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Jeff goes to here. He can do it on an angle too.
So 27 instead of 24. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Nope.
And then let's go through. Okay,
The requirements?
yes, do you want to read those off?
Sure. So we'll run through the requirements needed here. Start with number 1, that the enforcement of the literal requirements of this ordinance would involve practical difficulties. Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yes, it would. That special conditions or circumstances exist which are particular to the land structures or buildings involved and which are not applicable to other land structures or buildings in the same zoning district.
Correct.
I agree with that.
Agreed.
Agree.
That the authorizing of such variance will not be of substantial detriment to other lands and uses and will not be contrary to the spirit and purpose of this ordinance. Agree. And I
Agreed.
missed number 3, so we'll just circle back. The literal interpretation of the provisions of this ordinance would deprive the applicant of property rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same zoning district. Agreed.
Agreed.
Down to number 5, that the condition or situation of the property or the intended use thereof is not of so general or recurrent nature. True.
Very true.
Agreed. Great. That the condition or situation of the practical difficulty causing the need for the variance was not created by the applicant or the applicant's predecessors in title. Agreed.
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 Does anybody have anything they'd like to add or make a motion?
So I'll make a motion that we approve his current deck plans, subject to
So with the following conditions?
conditions that the posts are at or behind the retaining wall and match what's been presented to us tonight with, the dimensions,
And a 27-foot.
10 and 27 feet. 10 feet for the main deck and 27 feet from the river's edge,
Correct.
okay?
Support. Were you
So-
done?
Yep.
Okay.
So motion made by Zoller, supported by Curtis to approve with conditions laid out by Zoller. All those in favor?
Roll call. You have to
Roll
call
call.
their names.
So go through roll call here and then just say yes or no. Marion,
Yes.
DeGroot, yes. Sheldon,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
Zoller,
Yes. It's approved.
so that is approved.
Thank you, Wally.
Thanks,
Okay,
Wally.
Item 7,
I would like to make some comments if I could.
you're already approved, you don't want to change anything.
No, I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity. And I think it's important that, when citizens have a situation that is a non-conforming, situation, that they do follow, due process and come before the zoning board of appeal. It's the right thing to do, to have built the deck and ask for forgiveness later if, the township was to come and ask, how was that, approved? That would not be the right thing to do. So, recognizing the zoning variance was required, I wanted to follow due process and come before the zoning board of appeals and state, my case with the understanding that, your judgment would be final. And so I do appreciate what you have done. And I have some additional pictures here. The whole purpose of this request was one of safety. You can see the deck boards on there have rotted, and the deck is probably about 100 years old. When the ice dam came down, it broke the main structure beam, which I have temporarily supported there. And then I also did take this picture here, so to show you that that structural post that we approved tonight will be exactly where the post is right now supporting that deck. So basically no structural changes, just a cantilever design allowing the extra footage there. And this home is a 100-year-old structure, and it is an iconic structure in the village of Alaska, and I have been working very diligently to restore it and assure that, you know, the neighborhood is upkept. So I think this approval by the ZBA is a good thing for the township, good thing for the village, and certainly makes it a much safer condition, you know, for my home here, which I hope to someday occupy in retirement. So again, just wanted to say thank you to the Zoning Board of Appeals and appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate you being here and following the process. Have a good night. You're
Item
welcome to-
7.
Welcome to stick around, but we'll move on to item 7 here. Any ZBA member comments?
Move to adjourn.
Support.
Motion to adjourn by Zoller, supported by Curtis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Meeting adjourned at 6:10 PM.